Today's topic comes from Math 8 Foundations, Multiply and Divide Integers. Working on that focus standard from 8th grade math, expressions and equations, analyze and solve linear equations, and pairs of simultaneous linear equations. Our essential question for today is, how do the rules for multiplying and dividing integers compare? So please take a moment, pausing the video if you need to copy all this into your header along with today's date, sub your question column and your note column, and resume the video when you're ready to begin. So today I used a similar flowchart as in the last video to talk about the rules for multiplying and dividing integers. And so it's really quite simple. You'll notice a lot fewer steps here, but we have 3 basic steps. First one, you want to notice the signs of the values that you're working with. Step 2, you want to determine the sign of the solution. So step 1 will help you determine the sign of the solution. And then step 3, perform your calculations. So whether we are multiplying or dividing positive or negative numbers, if the signs are the same, your solution will be positive. So if you're multiplying two positive numbers, your answer is going to be positive. If you are multiplying two negative numbers, your answer is going to be positive. So on the other hand, if the signs are different, if you're multiplying a positive and a negative number, then your answer is going to be negative. If you are dividing a positive and negative number, then your quotient is going to be negative. So it really has to do with the signs of the values that you're working with. If they're the same, they'll be positive. If they're different, your answer will be negative. So take a moment, please copy this all down for your reference, and then we are going to go ahead and take a look at a few problems. Alright, so I have a couple multiplication and division examples for us today. So in our first problem, we have -4 times -8 equals S. So we're trying to figure out what S is. We're looking here. Step 1, we want to notice our signs. They're both negative. And so we know that if the signs are the same, the product will be positive. So if we take -4 times -8, we should get positive 32. So S equals 32. Let's take a look at our other multiplication example. Here we have -6 times 5 equals R. Take a moment to think, what are we going to think about in step 2, and what are we going to get for our final answer in step 3 when we perform our calculations. So here we have another one where the signs are different. We have a negative multiplied by a positive. So if our signs are different, the answer is going to be negative. So now we know if we take -6 times 5, R is going to be negative. -6 times 5 should give us -30. So R is equal to -30. As for division, let's give that a try. So here I have -12 divided by 12 equals P. Go ahead and see if you can finish filling out the rest of this table. We have a -12 and a +12. Our signs are different. And so since our signs are different, the quotient, the answer to a division problem, is going to be negative. So -12 divided by 12 should give us a -1. So P is equal to -1. Fourth and final problem, if you haven't already gone ahead and tried that problem, please do so. We have -9 divided by -3 equals Q. We're dividing two negatives. Our signs are the same. Therefore, since our signs are the same, the quotient is going to be positive. So Q is going to be positive. -9 divided by -3, Q is going to be positive 3. So that concludes our video on reviewing how to multiply and divide with integers. Please go ahead, as always, make sure you have that summary section, your notes are fully complete, and come ready in class to practice this more.